Welcome to the Film Junket podcast.
Judge, jury, executioner. No, I was just jury. What's happening, guys? Dave, the Film Junkie here. Welcome to the Film Junket podcast. Appreciate you guys all clicking in. You guys are awesome. Love the fact that you guys listen to this. Yes. And I know some people out there want me to start uploading this to iTunes and stuff like that. Because I think some people just think that I just have this podcast on YouTube, and sometimes it's not easy just to have your YouTube app open and everything. I also have it on SoundCloud, so if you're in the YouTube app, if you're on there, just scroll down to the description. The very first thing says download or stream on SoundCloud. Also, when I post it on the site, I post the SoundCloud stream right there too. So I do have it where you could just stream it, or you could download it and listen to it later. That'd be nice, if you guys want to do that. So anyways, welcome to the podcast. I'm of course drinking some Pinot Noir still on a noir kick. I don't know, it's all the Batman talk, right? That's what it is, guys. But yes, wanted to start off by talking about my little adventure through jury duty, guys. I was actually on the podcast last week. I was going to mention it, but I didn't. I just totally forgot about it. That I had jury duty the next day. I don't know, when did I record that podcast? Was it on Thursday? Or was it on Wednesday? It was on Wednesday. I think I was just going to talk about it. Didn't get around to it, but let's talk about what happened. Yes, if you're following me on social media, you'll know that I got picked. I was chosen. That's right. You know what's weird, guys? Okay, so this is the third time that I've gotten a jury duty summons, which is pretty odd because when I started my cable job way back in 2005, I got a jury summons like right then, and went in, sat around with everybody. Big courthouse over in the San Bernardino. I know some of you probably don't know what the fuck, it's just where I live, it's a fairly large town, city, whatever you want to call it, municipality. Over here, it's, it's got a lot of spots that are fairly sketchy. That's for damn sure. Yeah, big time sketchy in certain spots. So, it has a very big courthouse, and it gets very crowded. And, I think I was out of the second groups of people on the list, I was dismissed. And, that was it. And I didn't get a jury summons till last year. And I'm talking about 13 years here. It's very strange. Like, I didn't understand it myself. I think maybe it was because, I don't know. I think it was, it mainly had to do with the fact that probably because I was living in that county for a bit, and that's a big, big county. So, it just never got around to me. Never got around. But as soon as I moved out of that county, like a year or two later, bam, I get a jury summons last year. And guess what, guys? I didn't show up. And you could do that. I don't recommend it. It's not, you can probably get away with it a few times. I think I was even talking with somebody over at jury duty. They said, you can just keep throwing them out, but eventually they'll send a summons where you'll be, you can get put into jail, you can get a big fine and everything. So, just be wary. If you end up missing it, don't worry about it. Don't fret. You'll get a follow-up letter, but then that's about it. And then all of a sudden, a year later, I get yet another summons, and I went, okay, I better not miss this one. So I didn't, talked to my work, and my work is it's great. The reason why I ended up missing last year's because I was on a deadline. And the way that they do it, in this county, I guess, I don't know if it's still the same in the other county or if it's anywhere else where you guys live or anything like that in the Americas. Basically, it was, what it used to be was you had a specific date that you were supposed to report for jury duty. And the night before, you called in, and now, of course, you can just text in to see if you have to show up, because sometimes you'll just get automatically dismissed depending on what stuff that happens. So last year, when it said, no, the week of, starting on this Monday. And I went, what the fuck, really? So I had to send a text with my information, my badge number and everything. And then they tell me, like, no, you're put on standby. Text tomorrow after 6 p.m. And I'm like, really? So you're basically put on standby. And then finally, of course, on fucking Thursday night, Friday, I'm supposed to show up in court or for jury duty. And I couldn't do it. I tried to get out of it. I tried to call to reschedule, but you're supposed to do that 48, 72 hours ahead of time. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Man, they're just setting you up to fail. Because I had a deadline on my job. I had to get something done, and I didn't know it. I just said, fuck it. I can't. I have to go to work. I have to get this project done that they want done. Turns out they didn't need it done by then. Fucking assholes. I don't work there anymore. That's my old job. That was when that place was falling apart and just a bunch of people didn't know what the fuck they were doing. So, I was kind of worried, but then all of a sudden I get a new jury summons, nothing that says anything about the old one, so I'm like, all right, I'll make sure I go this time. And then it was weird because it was on the 19th, which is a Tuesday, and I went, why the fuck is it Tuesday? Oh, and then it came to me, and I almost forgot about it again because I was at work, and I went, and luckily it was Monday, and it was President's Day. That's why it was obviously the courthouse was closed. I didn't get the day off, of course, because sadly, we don't get those days off, but no big deal. So I went, okay, and I set a reminder on my phone because, yes, that's something, if you're pretty forgetful, just write shit down, put shit in your fucking phone, have a reminder. So I texted, nothing. They said standby, cool. The following night, Tuesday night, same thing. And then Wednesday night, bam, they said you're doing court. So I was doing a show up on Thursday, so of course I text one of my managers. They said, okay, cool, that's fine. Luckily, work has been kind of slow, so it wasn't no big deal. So I show up, and of course, it's the normal thing. You get in a big room where everybody is at, and then you're just sitting there waiting. And it was freezing fucking cold, too. And then, the town that this was in, it's a little higher elevation. So, I mean, it was 37 degrees outside. Man, talk about a cold day to do it. And then, so we're in there, and I'm prepared, I'm fucking, I got my phone fully charged. I got my headphones. I'm listening to a podcast, and I'm just chilling. And after a couple of hours, they finally start calling off names. They said, if you get your name called, you have to go upstairs. And, yay, get my name called. Man, there you go. Yeah. Oh, man, this girl was sitting there. She didn't get her name called. She had the biggest smile on her face. I wanted to elbow her in her eye socket. No. Oh, how dare you, Dave? No, she was just so happy. And I was just so jealous. I'm like, God damn it. Because if I would have got dismissed, it was probably about 9:30, almost 10 o'clock. I would have had the rest of the day just to chill. It would have been nice. Would have went home. Probably would have got something to eat, went home, took a nap. Would have been great. So I go up there, and then they start calling off names to go into the courtroom. I'm the second fucking name that they call. So I'm sitting in the box, the jury box, the juror number 2. And I'm going, what the fuck? Really? So I'm going, and then they explain that everybody, because, the people are called, and there's people, like, in the stands or the audience, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And basically it was like, okay, I was already up to bat. Like, hey, you were going to start getting asked questions, which I guess, yeah, okay, cool. This is a good thing. I'm already up here. I'm already going to hopefully get dismissed, this, that, and this. But no, guys, it's not a good thing. Okay? You're already in the hot seat. So if you answer stuff where they don't get worrisome, you're in. I don't know how they do it or whatever the fuck. They look at your background. I don't know what the hell they do. But I was already pretty much a juror. But if I didn't answer a certain question correctly, then I would get dismissed. The thing is, guys, You know, I'm proud to be an American. Because I am. And, I have a military dad. He's very much, proud to be an American. Especially, and I know when I talk to him about this, he's going to be totally like, yeah, man, that's awesome. And everything. And I just, you have a military dad. So I'm thinking about him and I'm like, and then just my integrity too. I always scream about integrity. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to just flat out just be like, murderer, or something, just scream out murder. And basically the case was that all they said, because they can't tell you exactly what the case is, but they can say little things. And it had to do with a gun, okay? So I'm the second one to answer, to start, you have to read off, you have to answer these like 8 questions. Your name, your county, and this. Have you ever been convicted of a crime? Somebody, this, that, and this. And, it had to do with a gun. And then I thought, okay, I'm just going to say I'm not a gun guy. Which I'm not really. I own one. Not the one that you've seen in, recent videos. That's an airsoft gun that looks very much like a real gun. But I was like, okay, I'm just going to say I'm not a gun guy. That's all because I'm really not. I'm not one of those guys. Like, I have family members that are gun. My dad, well, obviously, he's a military man. He's got a collection. Of course, he's very careful with it. He's safe. Obviously, he's a military man. I got a cousin who's even a bigger gun nut. I got friends, gun nuts, and then I got friends that hate guns 100%. So, but I'm not a big. I have one, just for protection. That's it. So, yeah. So I was like, okay, I'll just say I'm not. Maybe that'll help, because I'm really not. But apparently that didn't do the case. And basically what I should have said, and then I'll just give you some advice. If they do tell you that this case has to do with a gun, you could just say you're really anti-gun or say you're really pro-gun, and your bias might affect your decision making. Because as soon as there's a lady that said she's very anti-gun and that her bias might get might play in a factor, she was dismissed. Same with there was a dude that was very pro-gun. Same thing. So they got dismissed. And I just kept going, fuck, and I was making it seem like I don't want to be here. But, answering the questions, and I ended up making the whole courtroom laugh, which is never a good thing. Don't do that. But I can't help it. I get put on the spot, I'm going to crack a joke. So I did that, and had the place laughing a little bit. So that didn't help, and I guess I have a trustworthy face. I don't know. Do I, guys? I guess so. So yeah, I got picked, and I was like, I cannot believe this long-ass fucking day. I showed up there at 7:30, didn't get over till after 4:30, man. It was a long day. That's why I wanted to go see that wrestling movie, and I was just beat, and I was like, I'm not going to go. So that's why I didn't see that movie. Heard great things about it. My friend said she loved it. So I went, fine, you know what? Cool. I text my one of my managers, say, hey, man, looks like it's going to be a short case. They're telling me I'm probably not going to see you till Tuesday. And they said, fine, and work's slow anyways. Don't worry about it. You get paid, up to 40 hours and everything. So I thought, cool. I just kind of took it as, this is going to be an experience. I'm getting paid. It's going to be interesting to see how an actual courtroom does their thing. Obviously we've seen so many times on TV and movies how it is right there. And I mean, and I'm sure it's mostly accurate, but of course it's over dramatized and everything. So I report for jury duty full on the next day. I posted that image of myself, and I thought, hey, I'm going to look sharp. Why not? Let's wear a button up. I got my faux leather jacket, and got the shades on, and my nice jeans and nice shoes and stuff. So I thought, cool, I'll just, why not? Let's take it seriously. So I didn't have to be there till 9 o'clock, which was great. I got to sleep in a little bit because I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I got to be at work at 6:30. So I didn't have to be there till 9, so I got a little bit of extra sleep, which was nice. So I show up, we get in there, and basically what the case is I can talk about it now. I can't talk about it when it's happening, of course. So basically what happened was there was just an altercation between 2 roommates, okay? One roommate works late. He was a cook, at a restaurant. It was late Friday night. He shows up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and apparently he's blasting his music in his car, wakes up the other roommate. They live in like a house. They rent out rooms kind of thing. So the guy who got woken up was pissed. And this is the defendant, by the way. And this is, it's a people versus this guy. And so he, he's pissed and he's like, what the fuck? Turn off your music, this, that, and this, altercation. Apparently, the other guy didn't know about this. He was putting shit away. He was going to cook some stuff because he was hungry. And they had a little altercation. And that was the main thing of it. Like, turn it off. The guy who owned the car was, music was blasting. He thought he shut off his Pandora app. Apparently that doesn't always work with certain things. I don't understand that fully, but other people were like, yeah, that does happen. It's always worked for me, but I guess Bluetooth can be fucking weird, can it? Like, it really can. Bluetooth really has a mind of its own sometimes. Even my desktop computer right now, and I'm hoping because Apple keeps pushing out their fucking updates for it, the Bluetooth fucking just drops, just randomly. And their stupid fucking mouse that they have, when you plug in the mouse, yeah, you can't operate the mouse when it's plugged in. You can operate the keyboard. It's been a perfect spot, fine. But not the mouse. Apple, you are fucking, whoever designed this can go fuck themselves. It's right at the bottom, so you can't do anything. Fucking, it's just dumb. I didn't, sorry, yeah, I get it, Apple, I get it, fucking, I get it. You want me to buy the more expensive shit. Yeah, sorry, I can't exactly do that. I'm not making that much money. Jesus. Yeah, you do that so then people will pay more, right? I get it, Apple. Assholes. Basically that was it, but they were both still very heated. And apparently, the guy, the roommate, not the defendant, was still very amped up. And when he walked past the defendant's room, he pounded on it like basically what he said was with a bottle that he had. He hit it, and the defendant came out. And according to the roommate, the defendant came out with a loaded gun, pointed at his head, and threatened him with it. Okay, but according to the defendant, that's not what happened. When he pounded the door swung open, and he blocked the door, but he did have his gun out. Loaded gun at his side, pointed down. Okay? Now, of course, that was it. So we had both of their testimonies, and then the main cop who filled out the report, we got his testimony, which is nothing. So I went, what the fuck? This is like he said, she said shit. How are we supposed to figure this out? Now, at first I thought, okay, so basically he's not innocent unless there's enough evidence to prove that he actually pointed the gun at the roommate's head. And I went, wow, it doesn't seem like there's enough here. It's he said, she said. There's holes in both their stories. I don't know who the fuck to believe. It's like trying to believe somebody. And, so we got all that. And by 11:45, that was all done. And we were dismissed. And that was the rest of the day. It was fucking great. I was like, yes, sweet. I thought we were going to be here till 4:30 again. It's awesome. So I fucking was like, hey, you know what? There's an outlet mall like 3 miles away from this place that I've always heard about. I'm going to go walk that, maybe do some shopping. Boy, that was a mistake. Jesus Christ. I wish I could take that back. I should have just got something to eat and came home and took a nap. Because I ended up with nothing. Basically what happened is I walked that place. Everything was very, very overpriced and expensive. Just expensive. The only things that I wanted was a pair of Adidas shoes that were pretty badass that I really liked that were at the Adidas outlet. But they didn't have them. They were out because they're badass. But luckily I found them on Amazon and they showed up 2 days later. That's what you do, guys. That's why Amazon is awesome. Anyways. And then there was a watch too. You guys know I'm like kind of a watch guy that I almost bought, but I went no because I've bought too many in the last too many. And I just got to start. I got to save money. You can't just spend it on especially when you have a collection. It's like, all right, I got to relax a little bit. Let's relax. So I came home. And yeah, I just relaxed, took a nap. So it was nice. It was like, man, that was cool. And I got paid for a full day. Because legally, that's what's supposed to happen. Okay, so, and then I was thinking about the case, and I'm going, yeah, I don't know. I almost want to believe the defendant, but I was like thinking, I'm like, well, there's got to be enough evidence to prove that he's guilty. And so far, I don't hear anything that proved that he was, that he pointed the gun and did that. So then we show up Monday, and we didn't have to show up till 10, which was great. And they did their final arguments or whatever, and then we went into the room where we all just start talking. Nice group of people and everything. There was people who were not about guns, and there were people who were who have guns and who are about guns. But everybody answered the question like, "I'll be neutral, this, that, and this." And we kind of just went on. Whoa! Didn't mean to do that. I put my elbow right on the keyboard. Bluetooth's working right now, that's for sure. So we did our things, and we just kind of talked about it. And I was kind of iffy, and then there was one guy that was kind of iffy too. But I was kind of just still listening. I didn't voice that I was iffy. I just wanted to listen to the people, and I just kept going. And I just brought up the fact. I'm like, well, we got to prove that he pointed it. But then it was brought to my attention that no, we don't have to prove that he pointed the gun in his face. We just have to. We have not to prove, but we have to. The evidence has to basically. They give you these 3 elements, and I forgot exactly what they were. And one of them was, did he have the gun out? Which was yes, he did. He pulled out, he even said that he felt threatened, the defendant felt threatened, so he went into his lockbox and pulled his gun out, just to like, I'm going to sleep with this next to me. I don't know what this guy's capable of. But what was really weird about that is like these guys have been living, their rooms, and they share a bathroom apparently. They share a wall and a bathroom. But apparently, the whole altercation about music, all of a sudden this guy felt, oh man, I need my gun. I don't know what the hell. He didn't mention that the roommate threatened him with his life or threatened to kick his ass or anything. He didn't mention that, which he should have. Mistake 1. Mistake 2 was mentioning that he pulled the gun out. But I guess you can't really do that, when the cops show up and take a picture of it. Yeah, it's already out. You're fucked. Because basically, I think the second element, which is what they called it, was did he have the gun out in a threatening manner? Yes, according to the defendant, when the door got slammed open, he was holding a gun pointed down, but he had it in his hand loaded. That's where his mistake was, and that's where the people who own guns too, and they brought it to the attention like, hey, if you're going to pull that thing out, you don't pull that thing out unless you're going to use it. Like someone's breaking in, you pull that thing out, cool. And you can threaten them with that, cool. But if you just had an altercation, that was over, by the way. The whole thing was done. The music was turned off. Everything was done. They were both just still like hot-headed. So who knows what the fuck. Not to mention when the defendant did his testimony, he started kind of just going, okay, he said he went back to sleep before the cops arrived. And that sounded weird to me too, because if you were like really like amped up and scared that your roommate was going to try something, I don't think you could just fall back to sleep like that. It was just, there was weird, like I said, there was holes in the other guy's story too. It was very much weird, but the fact of the matter is, guys, if you have a roommate and you own a gun and you have an altercation with them, don't pull your gun out. Please don't do that. That's just not being responsible. Okay, unless the guy is threatening you with bodily harm. And according to the defendant's testimony, he didn't do that. All he did was said, I didn't know what he was capable of. I'm like, you've been living with this guy for fucking 6 months? You share a bathroom with him? You have smelled his shit! You have smelled his shit! And you don't know what he's capable of? Now all of a sudden? See, that's where this shit just really went, oh, okay. And discussing with everybody. And we took about 2 hours to discuss it. It wasn't like an instant thing. So, yeah. So we found him guilty. I mean, it's not going to be anything big. He's not getting a chair or anything like that. It's going to be a misdemeanor. He's probably going to lose his gun for a bit. And probably, I don't know if he's going to do some jail time. I mean, he got arrested that night. There was enough for the cops to arrest him that night, too. That was another thing. I don't know. It's just a lot of weird shit. I mean, I felt kind of like, I get it, yeah. But at the same time, I'm going, man, they don't live together anymore. Even if we found him not guilty, I mean, who would be hurt in this case, really? I mean, that's what I kind of felt too. I was going, yeah. So our justice system's, it's a little weird. I don't think I could, to feel a little iffy about this little small, super small case, I don't know if I could be part of a jury that, that would like, hey, if he's guilty, he gets the chair. I don't know if I could be part of that. Just that to determine that. Oh man, it's difficult, man. It's a weird thing. It definitely is a weird thing. It was an experience, and you know what? If you could do it, do it. I mean, if the case is going to be short, you're going to get paid for it. I say do it, because you're most likely not going to work a full day. I mean, it depends on the case. The judge. By the way, too, interesting enough, both lawyers, women, and the judge, woman. Girl power, right there. But yeah, neither of the lawyers were that good looking. The judge was, though. There you go. There's the pig-headedness right there, guys. Girl power, and then I went, yeah, the judge was hot. Well, she's pretty hot. I'd let her pound me with her gavel. What? God, that was gross. That sounded really bad. Anyways, oh man, I've totally just took a turn. I got to get done with this podcast in about 24 minutes because the new Hellboy trailer apparently is showing up. So anyways, guys, so that was my experience. It was interesting. Like I said, do it. It's our civil duty. Why not? It's what we're, it's giving back, I guess. So anyways, guys, hey, let's talk about the Academy Awards because I almost forgot about that. That lovely show that there was a lot of cringeworthy shit that happened there, but whatever. When it came to my picks and what I do is, I went to my friend's house. She likes to, run through the whole thing and print out the ballots, and we kind of have a whole thing. So I always do my what I think is going to win, and then my personal picks. So, let's just run through it real quick right here. I did pretty damn good, actually. I think I was probably about 70% correct on my picks. When it came to, I was actually very surprised about best visual effects. I really thought Infinity War won because of the motion capture. I mean, I get it though. It's not all about that. First Man won, and they really did a really great job. I mean, if you watch that, I thought First Man should have definitely won sound mixing and editing, because man, if you watch First Man, when he goes in that barrel roll, when they're doing the test and he goes in that roll, the sound is like, you feel like you're there. I was uneasy during that scene. It's a great movie, by the way. I highly recommend it. Don't expect Apollo 13. Not at all. They didn't go for Apollo 13. They went for more. You're seeing it in the eyes of Neil Armstrong, okay? And it's not happy-go-lucky through the whole thing. There's a whole personal story with it, with his daughter and everything, and then you're just seeing it through the eyes of him. You're not seeing celebrations and shit like that. It's not all happy ending, stuff like that. It's very much fucking real. Damien Chazelle, the guy's a fucking phenomenal filmmaker. I know the movie didn't do that well, but the movie is done very, very well. And I thought it should have won sound mixing and editing. I wanted Quiet Place. That was my personal choice. But of course, Black Panther won. Bohemian Rhapsody won sound mixing. I also want editing. I don't know if it should have gotten that. What did I want for editing? Oh yeah, my choice was Vice. I thought the editing on Vice was great. But yeah, that's all that. I was so happy that Into the Spider-Verse won, and I of course picked that, and that was 100% everything. Visual effects, yeah, like I said, it was production design. I thought The Favorite should have done it. I actually watched most of these movies. I always make sure to watch most of these movies, so then I know. But of course, Black Panther won, which fine, well deserved. They had great costumes. Production design, same thing. Original song, of course we knew that Star Wars Born was going to do that. And by the way, I mean, I know, it's whatever, but Lady Gaga just recently broke off her engagement. And the way that she looked at Bradley Cooper, my God. You can't tell me that she, I don't know. But then, of course, she went on Jimmy Kimmel. Oh, I look at him like my brother. I'm like, yeah, that's what a lot of women, I think there's some girls that has said that about me, who once their relationship ended, my penis ended up in places. Anyways. Oh, the wine is really kicking in, guys. I tell you. It sounds so sleazy, but that does happen. I know there's some women out there that probably be like, yeah, there's times where, because, I don't know. I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to sound like a complete pig right here. When it came to Best Director, original score, I thought Beale Street would win. I thought they would give it to that, but of course they give it to Black Panther, which fine. I mean, he did a great job. One of the whitest guys in the world. I just thought that was funny. Long hair and everything. I forgot his name. He's yeah. Anyways, best director. I thought Alfonso was gonna win, and he sure did. I wanted Adam McKay because I just thought he did a really good job with Vice, the way he told that story and the way that it was put together. That was my thing. Best actor. I wanted Christian Bale, but I picked Rami Malek to win, and he did. Because he was just winning everything else, which I was not disappointed at. I thought he did a fantastic job. I mean, he totally embodied Freddie Mercury, and the guy did just mass. And apparently, he's in final negotiations to play the fucking villain in the next Bond film. I am all about that. Show that fucking range, Mr. Malik. Adapted screenplay. What did I picked? I picked. My personal choice was A Star Is Born, but it was Black Klansman. That was actually my pick to win. I thought it would win. And, of course, Spike Lee was cool. You know, he gave his... God, that guy is... I don't know. I can't stand that guy. He's just so petty. He's so fucking petty. I mean, I'm pretty convinced that he's very much a racist. I mean, I know, you know, some people's thought patterns, you can't be racist towards white people. I think, yeah, Spike Lee kind of is. He was actually... he was trying to make a documentary to prove that during Hurricane Katrina, the government set out Navy SEALs to blow the levees to flood New Orleans to flush out the black people. I shit you not. He was convinced, and he was trying to prove that conspiracy, but apparently that didn't happen because, yeah, we're not that fucked up here, but of course, you know, yeah, anyways. And then he was very disappointed that he didn't win Best Picture. Aw, poor Spike Lee. Hey, Black Klansman was good, but not that good. Sorry, buddy. You know, you have better movies in the past. You know, it's just, I mean, I don't know. He just rubs me the wrong way. Best original screenplay. My personal pick was Green Book because I watched Green Book last weekend. I was very surprised how much I enjoyed the shit out of that movie. I enjoyed the shit out of that movie. Watch that movie. It might not resonate with everybody, you know, and I know there's controversy with the story wasn't completely honest, which, hello, it's fucking Hollywood. Is any biopic or any story that's based on a true story ever 100% true? No, because then it would be boring as shit because, hey, guess what? Reality's boring. Yeah, you have to fucking Hollywoodize it. But Mahershala Ali and Viggo Mortensen, just a powerhouse. Top-notch performances. Their chemistry was top-notch. It was just a fucking good movie. It just really was. I was surprised on how much I enjoyed the shit out of that movie. So I picked that, and I thought it would win too, and it sure enough did. Best Supporting Actor. Yeah, Mahershala Ali. That was my personal pick, and I figured he'd win, and he sure enough did. Supporting Actress. My personal pick was Amy Adams. But Regina King won for Beale Street, If Beale Street Could Talk. I did not see that movie. That was the only one of the only ones that I didn't see. I didn't catch that one, so I couldn't tell. But I figured she was going to win because she was winning everything else. When it came to Best Actress, I actually thought Glenn Close was going to win because she was winning everything else. My personal pick was Olivia Colman, and I was pleasantly surprised that she won because she fucking was phenomenal in The Favorite. I was surprised by The Favorite, too. I enjoyed that a lot more than I thought I would, too. Emma Stone, Rachel Weisz, whatever the hell you say her name, Weisz. Wow, that movie, crazy, but fucking Coleman. I mean, I only know her really from Hot Fuzz, where she was like the horny chick policeman. And she always made those jokes and had that funny laugh. She was great in that movie, and yeah, fucking great. And I was pleasantly surprised by that. So that was cool. And then I thought Best Picture was going to go to Roma. I really thought they were. And you know what, guys? Out of all the Best Picture nominees, that was that Roma was so fucking slow and so fucking boring. So boring. I dug the artsy-fartsy shit. I like the artsy-fartsy shit. The black and white, the long takes, the pans. I mean, there were so many times where the camera was just stationary on a tripod and it was just panning over. There's a lot of that. A lot of like long shots, which I totally dug. Cool. And I'm, all about it, but it was so boring. There's a couple of there was one really heartbreaking scene that was like, damn. And it was a long take too. And I'm like, fuck. Jeez, this is like, can we go to the next scene? And then there was one like very like, oh, this is a really good scene, but it was kind of like, oh, what's gonna happen here? I thought something bad was gonna happen, but ended up not. So I'm not saying it's a terrible movie. It's just so long and boring for those scenes, and a very, very awkward, full frontal male nudity scene. Yeah, very awkward. Just like I was going, it was just like what? Okay. I mean, he's doing this with his dong out. Okay, cool. Fantastic. So, just to let you know. But my choice was Green Book. Out of all the Best Picture nominees, and I saw all of them, I was, like I said, I was pleasantly surprised at how much if I saw Green Book last year, it would have been in my top 10. Because Bohemian Rhapsody and Star Was Born was in my top 10. I enjoyed Green Book more. Crazy. I fucking did. So, because Bohemian, I think, I can't even, Bohemian Rhapsody and Star Was Born were just kind of almost, I don't even remember what place they were on. But anyways, guys, so there you go. So I was really, really, it was really great that Green Book got a lot of that, and I was happy about it. So there you go. That was my picks and choices right there. Personal choices. Shit, gotta wrap this up. Coming up here. What should I talk about? Dark Phoenix. We got that trailer. Did my trailer review. God, I just posted something on Twitter, man. Somebody compared Mystique's makeup, Rebecca Romaine, and then Jennifer Lawrence. My God. Yeah, I mean, we all knew that she hated the makeup. I mean, after Days of Future Past, she was like, she thought very much that she didn't need to be in the makeup anymore because, and I'm sure her publicist and everybody was like, no. Because now she's a big star. You're a star! You can't be covered in makeup. You're a star! So, the makeup is not good on her. You compare it to that Rebecca Romaine makeup, Mystique, in the first X-Men movie, in the second one too, third one. My God! Rebecca Romaine was completely covered the whole time. She threw up blue shit, she said. I mean, she went above and beyond, and the makeup is just so fucking good. And this was like almost 20 goddamn years ago. I'm worried about Dark Phoenix, guys. I am. Well, I mean, I've heard, ever since last year, I've heard not so good things about it. I know there's been reports of a lot of reshoots, and I know we're not supposed to do that, but after Justice League, hey, guess what? Hey, I'm like a battered wife. I'm sorry. I see a hand go up, the hand that is reshoots that go up. I cower a little bit, guys, okay? I'm worried about it. I don't have a lot of faith in Simon Kinberg. I don't. I mean, he was probably one of the ones that helped fuck up the Fantastic Four. So, I don't know. I don't know if I have a lot of faith in him. I really don't. And Jessica Chastain, she's annoying as shit. She's so woke that she doesn't believe that sign language is an actual language. It's so fucking great. Because she was doing that whole thing. That whole thing where the analytics of she was trying to show that when it comes to the past 8 Best Picture winners, the dialogue, you time the dialogue between men and women. You're never going to make it equal. That's why these people fucking do this. You know that, right? They virtue signal and they want to fucking act like heroes. That's something that will never, ever be equal. It will never be equal. Okay, it's impossible to totally to make it equal dialogue in a fucking movie. It's crazy. I mean, I saw a post that even said when you had a movie that had 2 female leads that they were saying that the men still had more dialogue. I'm like, how is that fucking possible? It's a number it's something that'll never be achieved. There's a lot of things when it comes to SJW shit that's out there that'll never be achieved, and they want it to be that way because if it ever is achieved, they'll have nothing to complain about and they won't be a hero anymore. You got to realize this is the way these people fucking think nowadays. They don't give a shit. There's people that don't give a fucking flying fuck about equality. They don't. Because when actual equality is achieved, they will not talk about it. I've always screamed this before. Hey, let's bring back Jennifer Lawrence. She made $6 million more than Chris Pratt in the Passengers movie, and she had less screen time, and Chris Pratt had to drive that whole first act, 20, 25 minutes, all by himself, and he had 2 butt shots. 2 back nudity shots. No nudity from Jennifer Lawrence, which I was disappointed about. And there you go. And he got paid $6 million less. But nobody ever fucking talks about it. And I'm sure there's been other occasions too where a female actress has gotten paid more than the male actress, but they will never, ever talk about that because that goes against the narrative. It will. I guarantee you. You have a movie with Scarlett Johansson, you got a movie with anybody, they will never mention. They'll never mention it. And the reason why that Jennifer Lawrence got paid more? Because she was the bigger star at the time. That's the way that usually, and I'm sure there's been shady shit. I'm not saying there hasn't been. But that's usually how they gauge how they pay these fucking actors. But yeah, they'll never mention that shit. They'll never mention it. Because then we can't keep talking about it. It's fucking retarded, man. I hate it. So it's just a never-ending, just screaming into the echo chamber. So anyways, yeah, I'm worried about Dark Phoenix. And you know what I'm worried about too, guys? It's gonna be worse, sadly. Fuck. Fandom! Stop it! Okay, I was not a fan of Venom. Not a fan of Venom. It's not a good movie, in my eyes. But I've seen so many fans, and it's mainly DC fans. And you know what? And if you liked it, fine. But man, was that movie fluffed up to be something bigger than it actually was. To me, I thought it was watered down, and Sony was trying to make an MCU movie. But since there are fans out there that absolutely loathe the MCU, they were fluffing that thing up like it wasn't. And I'm going, are you kidding me? Did we watch the same movie? There was a Pomeranian. There was a Venom Pomeranian. Jesus. Huh. There was, man. So it got fluffed up, in my opinion. I got heated from DC fans from, I'm like, what the fuck, man? I'm like, sorry that I didn't like the movie. My bad that I have an opinion. I'm not going to fluff up something because it's not MCU. Jesus. So yeah. When it comes to Dark Phoenix, yeah, just okay. There are going to be those assholes out there that don't care about this movie and want the movie to fail because it's going to, X-Men are going to go to the MCU. I get that, guys. But you cannot lump the people who actually think for themselves, don't have an agenda, don't try to appease the narrative, that are actually going to critique this movie, and they might not like it. You cannot lump them in with those assholes like Mr. Scott and fucking receding hairline Mendelsohn, Mr. White Guilt. You cannot lump... You can't lump people in with that fucking asshole, okay? You can't do that. There are going to be people that do not like this movie. And if the reviews aren't there, even though we're not supposed to pay attention to Rotten Tomatoes, fuck Rotten Tomatoes, but I guarantee you, if there's bad reviews of Dark Phoenix, there's going to be a whole conspiracy and everybody's going to start talking about Rotten Tomatoes again, just like they have been with Captain Marvel. Jesus. So, I'm just saying, just don't do that, okay? I'm going in with low expectations, and it's the same thing with Captain Marvel. I'm going in with low expectations, and I'm hoping, and I do this with every movie, okay, that I'm hoping that I get surprised. I try not to go in like, oh, this movie, I'm just going to shit on this movie. This movie's going to suck. And I think some people out there do that 100%. On both sides, by the way. So, I don't know, see what happens. All right, let me answer the questions, because, man, that trailer's going to be dropping. Oh, shit, man, it's going to be dropping soon. Man, I'm going to have to cut the questions short, guys. I apologize. Oh, God. Somebody just pointed out something. All right, here we go. Where's my fucking hashtag? God damn it. Fuck. Sorry, I'm scrolling through trying to find my hashtag, and it's just not working. I should have just typed it in, but I didn't. Oh, what's that? Oh, okay. blah, 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 blah. Yeah, like I said, if you want to ask me a question on here, the best way to do it. Oh man, I'm just have to type it in. I can't find any. Just use the Film Junket Podcast hashtag. It's usually what I use right there. Hurry up. Okay, here we go. Okay, so let me just go through these. It's probably going to be pretty quick, so I apologize. Gary Mall. Is there any criticism of BVS that you feel is legit? Like maybe Bruce just leaving the spear after the fight, or Bruce's workers only just leaving when he called the exit? Yeah, the spear part I don't really care about because that ended up being a plot device. But yeah, when like, hey, like get out of the fucking building. There's like literally like two alien beings that are destroying buildings, tall buildings. Get the fuck out of the building. Yeah, that kind of bothered me too. I get that criticism. I even get the Martha criticism because, you know, I know a lot of people, you know, and I see people still trying to explain to the haters why that scene, what the meaning of that scene is. And I'm going, stop wasting your time, you know, and then they complain, geez, they keep talking about this movie after fucking 4 years. I'm going, or 3 years. I'm going, yeah, and so do you. Stop it. Just enjoy it and talk about it with people who love the fucking movie, please. God damn. You know, we defended the shit out of that movie for forever. Do we have to keep on doing it 3 years later? And yes, but Dave, do they have to keep talking about it? I don't care. I haven't had to explain things from BVS to certain people for a long time because I chose, hey, guess what? These people are assholes. They don't want to do it, and they're trying to get a rise out of you. And it's working because you keep on fucking quote tweeting angrily. Stop doing that. Dave, you seen Umbrella Academy? This is from Kay. It's darn good, and I suggest you do a podcast collab with Comic Movie Marks. Yeah, a lot of people have been talking about that, and I will. Like I said, I'm getting to it. They liked the post that you did too. What are you all waiting for? Oh, a bunch of sissies? Yeah, we'll get to it. Don't worry. Matt McCove. Chances of seeing Magniello as Slade again? Hopefully in Suicide Squad 2. That'd be pretty fucking sweet. I mean, Jesus. Screenplay info. Am I a Nolan fanboy or Nolan movies just so good? Such a great writer. Yeah, you're not wrong. P.S. Interstellar and Inception are my top favorite movies. Yeah, Memento is always going to hold a special place in my heart. That was that the first Nolan movie I saw? Yeah, it was. The first Nolan movie I saw was Memento, which is the second movie. The following was his first. And that was like very, very indie, black and white and shit like that. But Memento was also pretty indie, and it's just so good. It just holds a special place in my heart because it inspired me to write like 2 screenplays after that. One of them which I tried to turn into a book. The Red Streak. Have you ever seen Harry Potter film before? If you already... what's your opinion? You know what? I haven't seen one all the way through. I've said it many times. The wizardy shit, I don't get into. I have not gotten into Harry Potter. One of these days I'll get around to it. Eric M. Blake. So I need to clear something up for myself. When Wonder Woman 84 got moved to 2020, did Warner Brothers move anything to fill the 2019 slot? No. It's just going to be Shazam and Joker. 2 movies. Nothing wrong with that. So when do you see the DCU start to release 3 movies per year? No, they're not going to do that. I hope they don't do that. I don't want the MCU to do that. 2 movies is fine. Dusky. Hey, Dave, you should Google Blake Jenner. I think he would make a great Batman. Perfect age, height. All right. Well, he looks like a strapping dude. He's got a good jawline. Doesn't have a dimpled chin, but good jawline. He's got a strong chin. I'll look him up. See how tall he is. See what he sounds like. John Gallagher. Hey, just curious. What were your Oscar winner picks? I already went over that. JD. How are you feeling about the new slate of movies coming out? A less connected universe is not what I would have wanted, but I'm warming up to the idea as long as they can be connected somehow, i.e. Shazam with memorabilia. Yeah, we're going to hear about that over and over again because we've been hearing that for a while now, and it just got told again by Sujihara, saying that less connected is better, and people are making it sound like it's new news, and it's not. It's probably the 3rd time we've heard it, and it's just going to be the new, when Kevin Feige kept asking about when the X-Men and Fantastic Four are going to join the MCU. And and if Ewan McGregor is still down to play fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's going to be the new that. We're going to hear it again probably with Shazam And I'm like, fuck, man. Do we really? So, one more. Justin Singh. You said you have a source that knows what happened behind the scenes at JL. What would happen if you released that info? Would Twitter explode? I don't know specific details. I just know little things. Because it doesn't go in specific details. I don't think it would go crazy. Like, not even he knows, like, all of what happened. He just knows little, he knows things too. Let's just say what he told. He didn't give me specifics about Jeff Johns. And I've said this before, but let's just say that he was a fan of Jeff Johns' work before. But after what happened with Justice League, he refuses to buy a Jeff Johns comic book. We'll just leave it at that. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. I'm going to go ahead and probably react to this new Hellboy trailer that's hopefully dropped right now. So I appreciate you guys listening. I will talk to you guys later.